it to me.
Care for a fish or two, stranger?
Welcome! Venturing out past the city. You'll want supplies, crab traps or the like for larger game, I warrant. Of course, take your...
Sure.
Dora must think I work for free. Be with you in just a... almost had it. Damn. Hazard of the work, really. Came in on the sloop? I can hammer your ship together if you're apt to pay me for it. Aye. Captain Redora hasn't paid me for her commissioned firepower. While I'm up to my nose in debt, the wild mare gobbles up her coin. And now, pirates are holding my feet to the fire over some sham of a deal. If I don't get Redora's payment, I might as well start carving my swallow net. One where I mend Principe ships and no others.
And here I'd have thought a shipwright would be eager for an exclusive contract. In particular, one with clients disposed towards getting their ships shot to shit and shot again.
Folk like that come by coin easy, only to lose it all again. I'm not sinking my business on the say-so of a pack of puffed-up bilge rats. Bastards are driving away business until I give in. You do that? A fair price goes without saying, Cully. It all comes down to blasted pans and pyres in the end, doesn't it? Oh, come take a look.
the Hazanui is at the palace, blaming the Valians for attacking one of their ports.
Well, did they?
Of course not. But the Queen must calm them down before they go to war over it.
Well met, stranger. Akira, but isn't this district a fine place? I am not one meant to venture far from the gullet. Until recently, I had a respectable job at the Luminous Bathhouse. Now that I am unemployed, I seek to make myself useful before the money runs out, and I must return to the Roparu as a pauper. A wonderful place. Would that I could cross its threshold again and feel them. In spite of my time there, I cannot do else but give it my highest recommendation. The Queen granted this area of the city to the Valian outsiders. Here they organize their business and trade, digging up the archipelago with both hands and carrying riches overseas. In her welcoming embrace, the Queen allowed a similar concession to the Royal Deadfire Company. You would do well to see as much of Nekataka while you are here, I am thinking. More happens at the bathhouse than cleanliness and ease. It is a place of meetings, business, and transactions, to all of which the attendants are either blind or deaf. One day, I overheard, more than I ought to have. In my erring, I gasped. To my great shame, I showed a most unprofessional reaction before clients. I was fired, and rightly so. Akira, you want to follow the road north, up the mountain, always climbing. It is the highest point in the city.
Merla! How is every ship hunter taken? I only deal with serious clients. Now, Shu. Not the business of answering questions, Nazenale. Madiko. But it is impossible to find skilled work when every competent freelancer wastes their shore leave in the wild mare. When blood travels south of their brains, the value of a good bounty is forgotten. You, a nameless face of the streets? I do not make a habit of shepherding new talent, but... Ach, there is a seed of potential. We will cut your teeth on Biakara, a Huana sailor and would-be patriot who plagues company ships. Per Complancanet, do you hate money? Speak to me when you are ready, then. Ach, but I blame Luminous Adra. Our privateers are busy escorting shipments out of the Deadfire. Everyone is rich, no one is hungry. Where are the Casitas willing to sink their enemies for a bag of pies, huh? Drunk on success.
We can summon the guards if you want to be difficult, Aimiko. Kindly leave.
If Luca doesn't see reason, the Duape will lose their lands. For their sake, I must...
That's enough out of you. Good day.
Please, I must ask a favor. What say? Do you have business with the Valiant Trading Company? My people of the Duape. We signed a contract with the company. We were not understanding the terms at the time. I wish to, renegotiate. But the clerks, my father, the Ranga, took payment from the company. In exchange, they dig for Adra. He did not understand the Valian way. When he dies, the Outlanders will claim our island for themselves. Father has fallen ill, and the clerk, Luca, stands by the agreement as surely as if it was stamped in his skin. Akira. When the Valian clerk learned I was from the Duape, I made my appeals to Luca, but my words were as stones dropped down the deepest well. While I am barred from the company office, I can do nothing for my people. I showed Luca a new contract, yes? Fair. Luca called me a criminal and summoned his guards. A man in the gullet offered to assist me. He carried papers, ink, and he helped to write a new contract in the Valian way and to fix the correct... Luca, I say he did not like this. He took my contract and forced me into the streets. I do not know this word. Negotiating with outsiders has not gone my way. Luca has it secured in a chest. Tangaloa's jaws such trouble for parchment, I say. Akira, my thanks. Leave it to me.
I don't have a voice for shanties these days. Too much salt in the air.
Not even my Vithrakta.
Falsetto per complancanet.
Do you enjoy coin, my friend? Can you lift a sword?
Hail and welcome to the Wild Mare, friend. Now, what can I do for you? You see anything you like?
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
Ado, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually. Que? No, you mistake me. I am not one of the courtesans. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Ak? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Ak? I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for... 1,000 times I practice my speech. Mera. Never did it go this poorly. I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them. No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Ak. You will take the job? Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then. I will start you on Miriam, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will. My contacts saw her leaving Port Mage and heading west of Mage Island. Agrasima, you have but to ask.
You say I cannot down the rest? Watch me, amico. Medico, it is no wonder I thirst. Ado, why do you stare?
Where in the blazes is that old man? Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead. That old goose punter owes me a fair bit of coin. 5,000 coppers, if you'd believe it. And if you give me my money back, I'll give you a 20% share as thanks. Fine, Andra's great sagging tits, fine. You can have 40% and rights to whatever baubles Oswald has on him. How about this? I give you 60% and we never discuss this again. Haggling for the fun of it not keeping you busy enough? The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs, Antialiasing. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur. She wasn't receptive to my particular charms. Let's see you do better. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, What do you want to know? I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. But hey, what the hell? I'm one of the countless minor nobles that litter the Deerwooden countryside. You know Admeth Hadret, hero of the War of Defiance? He's my great whatever. See, this is why I don't like to tell people about it. They get all weird, like you right now, being weird. The man's a family friend. Has been for... must be 4 generations now? The perk of being an elf, eh? It's my fault, really. I should have known better than to believe that damn man's a wizard. You understand, and a tinkerer. He convinced himself and me he could, with enough luminous Adra, create a device that would add years to one's life. Must have been a crock of shit. Because one day he up and ran without a word of explanation or apology. I thought I knew him better than that.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rowattians.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
Where is my postinago? You there? Have you seen Laro Badato? Medico, where is that spoiled brat? Laro is past due for a company meeting. Mother wants me to drag the elusive louse back by his ear.
Must be nice to be a layabout. Uncle Engbert would have tanned my hide.
Fuck. I am angry and jealous in equal measure. You'd think this district was a maze, the way he manages to hide. The spirit magnet. Sientere, that I did not recognize you. If you desire to get in the graces of the Valiant Trading Company, we can help each other. Could I persuade you to watch out for Laro? I'd pay generously for your trouble. I'm concerned because Laro tends to feud with Orso, one of the local Valero rats. It's Ali Bardato. The Valiant Trading Company leans on her to finance their mission. If only more of her offspring were as accomplished. The Valeras. A brood of sea vermin playing at nobility. We squabble and compete, but Laro, the Postinago, takes it too far. Would you? I'll be waiting at the estate in case he happens to return. Laro and his miscreant friends carouse at the tavern, the falls above the Adra Mill, and the southwestern bridge. If you see him, tell Laro to get his good-for-nothing ass back home.
Well, we do have this thing with chasing a rogue god to the ends of Aora, but I guess if it's on the way.
Gon shepherds us all, traveler. Seek out his temple along the sacred stair, that thy path shall be made clear.
Leave it to me.
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper. I assure you that everything I sell is well crafted. But I will admit I'm not quite the weaponsmith that Marihi is, nor do I possess Uto's expertise with firearms. Marihi you can find in Pariki's Overlook, the district to the north. Uto has a shop in the Brass Citadel, in the eastern part of Nekataka. Lots to see. Take your time.
heard about the commotion at the palace?
Of course. Something about luminous Adra.
A giant made of luminous Adra.
I say, you look like someone who wants protection and a certain something about presence. Akira? Holler if any of the iron or steel laying around catches your fancy. Or if you need something repaired, I'm happy to take a glance. Akira, but these wonders have suffered greatly. I say you must take better care of your things. I say I could repair these to their working order for 1,500 pyres each. Something about the metal, it yearns to bond as one. I could join all these pieces into a great sword for 3,000 pyres. If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter, I've got plenty in stock. Akira, they wouldn't put a traditional smith here unless she brought something special. My clients wanted everything engraved and beautiful. Wasn't why I got into the business, but it keeps my debtors happy. I keep it interesting working with exotic materials like shark leather, since there's some demand and little supply.
Did I tell you? You were in my dreams last night, Watcher. You were on your knees before my god, and I couldn't stop screaming.
I've truly put your foot in it this time.
If you find yourself in need of comfortable garb, I'm happy to oblige. I've been known to rip a seam here and there. Thought I was an armorer, did you? Assumed that my tree stump limbs and barrel chest lend themselves better to the forge than the needle? If it's armor you're after, Marie...
The whole point of suppressing her was to keep her out of my head. I miss her impressions. Oh, if she could do this one of you, which she did over and over. It was real good, though. She could do all your twitching, your squeaky voice when you got nervous.
You had no right to interfere in Rauatai's business. Huana culture isn't business, you company drudge. I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less. If this is what passes for Rauatai in diplomacy, Razanui has bigger problems. If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business. Tamar and I wanted something from Arkemir. Our powers of persuasion leave much to be desired. The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rauatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it. The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both. Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people. Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason. A spellcaster, and a damn good one. Specializes in hexes and illusions. He and his apprentice run the Dark Cupboard, a local magic shop. I believe that he had dealings with black market treasure hunters. Not that the Queen will implicate him. She's too preoccupied negotiating with the warmongers at her door. Arkemir could be drinking Kuiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found. I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think. What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic. scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island. For me, I could eat... These are frustrating times we live in. What's that? There's always Facina, Archimir's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true. Archimir seems to enrage those of his inner circle, not excluding the imps. Akira, I say the relevance of the Harappo epic can't be. It could prove a touchstone for the Huana. It could even... Sorry. You go ahead. It is important to all who call the Deadfire home. I only tell you this because I know you can be trusted. The epic is supposed to contain information on Ukaizo. Nothing as dramatic as a set of coordinates, but anything helps. Stories are also important to the Huana. Much of who we are is still missing. The story could speak to the values and beliefs of our ancestors. The language structure, narrative voice, and use of metaphor can tell us. We could even... I've lost you, haven't I? Akira, from the Journal of Rakua, an explorer who found the tablet on a remote island some 20... Unfortunately for Rakua, the most we found of her was her journal among the flotsam of a shipwreck. They think the tablet can show them... well, the way to Akira. It's a mythical island, but that isn't stopping any of us from rushing to claim it first. Akira, the pleasure is mine.
Quench your thirst on the way up the mountain? Spirits and the like? No one between us? Folks tend to linger and spend coin.
Yes? Indeed.
What you want? Sprout wings like imp, huh? Fly up the balcony. Doors are for ground meat. Archimir doesn't let worthless idiot outside after worthless idiot sprayed dung on stupid tablet. But Archimir not home. So worthless idiot watches the ships come in, looks at all the tasty gulls. Those Archimir's big words. Gave name, but worthless idiot no understand. That's so? Worthless idiot should ask Stinkfoot or Catbreath what they say. How often you beat your crew, huh? I joined crew? I joined crew!
Must gather your party before leaving. Hunter or prey?
Do you seek companionship on your travels across the Deadfire? Why not take a little friend along? We have many animals on offer, all well-trained and Akira. You are...
So, it will be you, then. You do not know what I talk of? Then I owe you an apology. I have collected many foes over the years. Some of them would sprint up the... You do not recognize the great huntress of the archipelago? As Nungata Whale Splitter, I cleared the jungles and seas alike of slippery creatures. I earned my foes later, when I hunted a deadlier Akira, often.
Hey, you're Nungata, eh? I heard you'd gone all dry up in Driftwood. The sea word weren't far from the mark.
Spoken like a man who has never heard a driftwood club. It's been years since I tossed a harpoon, so now I stay abreast of what bounties need filling. An occupational hazard. Hunters do not play well. I miss traveling across the archipelago, but this is interested in taking up the trade, are we? I warn you that I deal in the heads of the exceptionally dangerous. A lady needs standards, after all. You assume right. Let's cut your teeth on clever Bena, infamous dwarf mystic of the obscure. A scavenger, I say. Picks off those who trust her for an evening, and then pockets their coin when she's bled them. Bena was seen traveling on an island due southwest of Osongo. Ask away, Hunter.
You return. What say, friend?
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company Vipers. Take care you are not bitten. You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides, while you are casting your blame in a wide net. Why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
She has a keen eye, my sister. Keener than your shooter's bird, Hazanui.
Don't listen to Amishi.
Among her other qualities, the Kahanga Queen can speak for herself.
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo. I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's...
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawn Star Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Scantanichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take 2 Valians at their word.
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am?
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Pamed Kong Swalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew. Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Oh, good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with—
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys. And take care with your trading company spies.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. Let's speak